Okay, hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. Today I'm going to talk about shortcuts and hotkeys in Premiere Pro and how to work with them. There's a time, for example, you realize that you need to decrease the the amount of hours that you edit, or you want to seem professional, so you need for shortcuts and these hotkeys for those purposes. So let's get started. Okay, I've prepared a movie. It's not a movie, it's my previous videos. Okay, as you know, it's been made in the sequence that I really enjoy to work with. I mean 1080p, 30 frames per second, and yeah, it's really good. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the basics that I want to tell you is these here. For example, if you hit V on your keyboard, it will be selection tool. You can select any item in your timeline. But for example, if you hit C on your keyboard, this is V. V will be selecting selection tool, and C will bring the razor. You can cut anywhere that you want. And with Control Z, you can undo everything that you've done. And for the reverse, I mean for bring back the things that you've done, hold Control Shift Z. You see? It will bring them back. These are really not necessary, except these two. Those are not really necessary to know for you. So we'll just skip it, and yeah. The very first thing that I want to tell you is that ripple edit. Okay. If you hit C, it will bring the razor. If you cut it and you just delete it, it will vanish, and there's a whole gap here. So what do we do now? We just select it, and or not selected. It's really not important. And shift delete it. You see? It will stick it to the last item in your sequence or the first of your sequence if it's possible. Okay, and with these arrows on your keyboard, you can move toward the timeline. For example, with holding front, it will do this. And for this one, if you hit it just once, you see, it's only been back for one frame. But if you hold shift and do that, it will be multiplied by 5, and it will pass 5 frames each term that you hit it. Okay, and if you press the arrow down and up, down will bring you to the end of your item in your timeline that you selected, and the up will bring you the first. And as you all know, if you hit minus on your keyboard, the zoom will be closed, and if you hit plus, the zoom will be open. Okay, I like it in this way. It's better. The one that I really enjoy work with is Q. If you hit click Q, you don't need to, for example, hit C, then cut, and then shift delete it. You just bring the how do you say this? Bring your thing here, and if you hit Q, it will cut it, delete it, and ripple it to the first or item that you have. It's really useful. And with Control X, for example, let me show you in this way. Let me cut it and bring it to another layer. For example, here we write blur, then this directional blur here, and if you bring the effect controls of this video, you will see it, directional blur here. And if we oh, this is the degree. If we do this, it will be somehow like this one, and it's really useful. I've just realized it a while ago. It's really good. If you hold Control and X on your keyboard, Control and X, see, it's vanished. But if you come here and Control V, you see, it cutted it. It's also for motions or anything that you can use. It's really useful. The next thing is, and it's really good for you to know. For example, let me bring all this back. Okay. There's a time you, for example, don't want your items in your sequence to be ruined. For example, I close the zoom. I hit C. I hit C, cut here and select it, and then Control C, that copies. And if I come here and hit Control V, it will take my some of my this video, I mean here, you see, this video here will be vanished, and it will be doomed. For providing from that, there's a thing that you must learn for your editing stuff and something like that. For example, if you hold Shift for pasting it, for example, Control V will be enough, but it will take the items in your that place of your timeline and that item to be replaced. I mean, it overwrites somehow. For providing from that, you, for example, want your copy here in this part, you hold Control Shift and V. It will ripple it. I mean, it will pull these and will be here with solid color. That's really useful. If you hit Home, it will bring you to the first of your sequence. If you hit End, it will bring you to the end. That's one thing that you must know. And let me bring another video for you to show how insert and overwrite works. Okay, here, this one. For instance, you imagine this is not here. If I double click on it, the source will be open, and here I can see this one without, for example, being in a sequence or timeline, something like that. With I, it will select, it's the abbreviation of in, and if you hit O, it's out. It's in and out. It will make an area that you, for example, can, if you hit OK here, it will start from the first and play it from the first. Okay. The next thing is J, K, and L. Three very important items on your Premiere that may help you, for example, be professional. For example, if you hit L, then it should be 100. Okay, you see, you can also, if you hit L, change the opacity here. It will play it from the play it like as always. I mean, normally. and if you, for example, while it's playing, if you hit K, it will stop. For example, see, your keyframes are okay. Yeah, this one. If you hit J, it will play it from backwards. I mean, just you see it yourself. You see, it's playing backwards. And if you double hit the item, for example, L or J, there's no difference. For example, L, it will increase the speed of playing. See, it's the one hit L. You can also change. This will play normally, and see if I double tap it. Okay, for J is also this one. It's like I'm speaking in a foreign language, and that's really nice. If you hit backslash on your keyboard, it will open and close the recent zone, for example. That's really not really important. And Control K. Let me show you in this way. Okay. We just simply bring these in different layers to show you. Okay. It's really necessary to select all these, and if you hit Control K, you see all of them must be selected, and these should be enabled. I mean, it should not be like this. Yeah, these are all must be selected. You see, for example, I come here and hold Control and hit K. You see, all the layers in that very line will be cut it, and that's, for example, for I don't know, selecting the extra audio or video that you have. That's really important for me. I really use it a lot, and that's cool. And also the clear, I mean, you can hit delete on your keyboard, but backspace will also the same. I think this session is down for now. I hope this hotkeys and shortcuts that I've just told you, it may help you to improve your editing and stuff. And for you don't need to memorize them, you just need to write down them somewhere and try to use them. For example, you look at your paper and do that. For example, Control K, I don't know, Control Shift Z. If you, for example, for 3 or 4 projects try to use them, you will somehow be aware of them, and it's really good for you to become professional, become a rich editor. That's really cool. And yeah, as always, good luck.